morning and welcome to the Treehouse. This is Kay with the View from Above Tarot reading for Monday, the 30th of September. Here we are at the end of September. And this reading will be for the collective, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest. If you have something specific in mind that you're thinking about, bring that up now. We're going to be doing a reflective reading this morning, and I'm using my older Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. And here's where we are today. Here is our challenge or the influences at play. Here is the frame of reference that we've got from our unconscious. Here are the influences from the past. This is what is on our mind today, and this is where the energy is going forward. And Meriwether, she is right there. So this morning, let's see where we're at. We have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the queen who knows exactly what it is that she wants, what she needs. She isn't having any BS from anybody. She's going to tell you exactly what it is that she needs and wants. She will cut cords if necessary. That sword is straight up, very much like the Ace of Swords, but she is very clear about what it is she wants. So this is the energy that we are carrying this morning on the 30th of September. It's like, I'm not putting up with anything. That's kind of a fallish energy, I would say. Frequently, I will talk about the birds that are in the sky above the court cards in the swords. And in this particular card, I just want to point out that there's only one bird. She's got one focus, and that's what she wants. So talk about steely determination and clarity. She's got it. So this is the energy that we are channeling this morning, the Queen of Swords. And our challenge today is, which is kind of funny, it is the Six of Pentacles, which is the card of giving and receiving. And so how is it that we are going to be very clear about giving and receiving with this very sharp-edged sword? And so that's going to be the challenge, right? How can we be benevolent receivers or givers when we have a little bit of a sharp tongue today? I also just want to call out that this card for me is really about the giving and receiving, knowing if there are strings attached. And because I just said she'll cut whatever cords necessary, she's going to make sure that there aren't any strings. And so if you are involved in a giving and receiving situation, be advised that you are going to be very clear about making sure that there are no strings attached to your receiving of anything or your giving of anything. And so that feels good to me, actually. And if you don't articulate it, at least you will be very much aware of the circumstances here and the consequences for engaging in that giving or receiving. So our frame of reference from our unconscious is another six, and this is the Six of Wands, which is the card of being lauded by your fellows here. This is a success. You can see the laurel wreath on the wand that he is carrying. He is riding a horse, but it's not a real horse. It is the mummer's horse of English understanding, which is a horse costume with two people underneath that costume carrying this fellow. So while we have had some success, it has not been our own. It has been with the help of other people, and that success is being recognized by other people. And we have to remember that when we have been successful, we never do it by ourselves. We have always had the help of other people to be successful. And so if this is our frame of reference this morning, our unconscious, then we're feeling pretty successful and ready to tell the world what we think, and get involved in another six of unequal relationships of giving and receiving here. So I would say that this is a little bit of a caution here. We're feeling our oats, boy, we are successful here. And now we're going to whack away with that sword. So let us be a little cautious about how we express what it is that we are thinking so clearly this morning. So the past influences here are the devil. The devil is the fellow who traps us. He has helped us to put these chains around our own neck. And we are able to take those chains off anytime you can see that they are loose. This is about thinking in ways that are not helpful. And it could be that our queen here is a reaction to some old ways of thinking. And sometimes when we realize that we have been trapped, the tendency for us to really come out of the box with a sword whacking is a way that we have swung the other way, right? Oh my gosh, I've been trapped. Well, nobody's going to trap me now. And so I would say that she's coming from a place of having been trapped in some negative thinking. Now, she maybe has the logic and the clarity to say, well, I'm not going to think that way anymore. But there is a tendency here to be just a little over the top as a result of swinging that pendulum the other way. So let's be thoughtful about in what ways we were thinking in ways that weren't helpful to us, that we want to come right out of the box swinging here. So here is another sword. This is what our conscious mind is. That is the Five of Swords, which is about conflict. And he is either putting those swords down or he's picking them all up. But the line here is, we are not going to fight about this anymore. And so if I look back at this, maybe we have been thinking about things like, oh, I really can't say anything. Oh, really, I really don't want to start a fight. Oh, and that's not helpful either, right? To be so demure when we kind of know what the right thing to do is here, right? We kind of know whatever it is that in our will and determination, we know how to be successful here. And what is it that we have dumbed ourselves down with, that we need to come out of the box swinging with this sword? There is a conflict here, and there is something that we do want to do about it, but we're done fighting. And maybe that's where this sword comes in to say, look, we're done. That's it. We're done. I'm going to give and take in the way that I want to do it. And there is a way, however, to be logical and clear and truthful without shedding blood. And there is no blood in this picture. Whatever conflict has happened, there are winners and there are losers, but there's no blood. Nobody died. Okay. So let's look at where we're headed with this energy, and another sword. And that is the Knight of Swords, who is all action, and he is riding that horse just to death. I mean, the horse is looking back at him with an "are you nuts" look about this. You cannot see the tip of his sword. He may not have all of the information that he needs as he's charging ahead with bringing his clarity and his truth into the world. So I think the caution here is to just slow down just a little bit here. Yes, we have the truth. Yes, we have the clarity. Yes, we're not going to fight anymore. We know that we have been successful in the past. We know that there might be some strings here in our giving and taking. I would say this is a caution to take a breath. Take a breath, and before charging ahead. So we have wands, swords, and pentacles here, but no cups. So our emotions are not present, or they are hidden. And so we've got a 5, 2 6s, a queen, and a knight. So Meriwether tells us, another sword, that there's a heartbreak here. The 3 of Swords is about a heart that has felt the pain of those 3 swords, the pain of truth, the pain of not really knowing exactly what needs to happen. And there is some healing that has happened here, because this heart is not bleeding, But there are storm clouds, and there is rain, and there is a heartbreak here. This card is also the card of speaking from the heart. Threes are expansions. And so in order for us to complete our healing, perhaps we need to speak truth from the heart. Again, we don't have any cups here, no emotion. But this card carries a great deal of emotion. And our emotions need to be handled with clarity and with logic when we are about to talk about them. And perhaps that's what our queen is doing. That there has been some heartbreak that we have felt trapped about, and we want very much to speak out our truth. So this card kind of gentles this part of the reading, but I want to hold on to the caution of the Knight of Swords because you don't really have all of the information yet. There's some processing that needs to help or to happen here in order for us to move to action. And so let's think about what it is that caused us to go into this sort of way of thinking that we shouldn't, that we weren't able to, some type of thinking that wasn't helpful, that we have now come out of. We've taken off the chains and we now hold the truth and the clarity in our hands. We have been successful in the past, and we're at a place where we have to do some kind of an exchange. And we are done with whatever conflict it is. We've made a decision. We're not gonna fight about it anymore. But how we are going to express that truth, how we are going to express that clarity, needs to have a little thought before we do so. There's a lot of energy and power in this reading this morning, and it is being driven by some old hurt. So let's be thoughtful before we move ahead with sharing that truth. So that is what I have for us here at the Treehouse this morning. I hope that you found this reading helpful, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, remember that this is a collective reading, and it will not necessarily resonate all of these pieces for all of us. So take what is helpful and leave the rest. And I invite you to come back again tomorrow, and we will do another reading here from the Treehouse, our View from Above Tarot. Blessings.